I hope you brought your sunscreen because College COD is back and it's hotter than ever with the Summer 8s tournament powered by eFuse. My name is Seymour. Alongside me is the dashing Cruz and Spaz himself, and we're here to bring you through this action all day long. Cruz, is going to be amazing, and I can't wait to see because the most important thing about today is that these are totally random teams that were drafted by captains, so we have no idea who's going to come out on top.
Absolutely no idea who's going to win today. I mean, that's the best part of this whole tournament. It's going to be absolutely fresh. I mean, usually, let's be honest, when we watch College COD, you have a pretty good idea on who's going to be the best. It's usually an Ottawa team. But, I mean, right now, it's really anybody's game, and we love to see it.
And I love that the shake-up throughout the season, more players are coming in, players are returning, and we get to see a mix of a little bit of both today and what we get for College COD. I'm so happy that this is back, but why don't we take a look at the schedule for the weekend and see what we are truly in for. And as you see, day one, draft day, was on the 12th. Previously, yesterday's teams post-draft day were able to get together and scream all day on the 13th. And now this is where it all begins. On the 14th of August, tournament day number 1, and tomorrow is tournament day number 2, both starting at 1 p.m. And at the end of this road, we are going to have a total grand prize of $1,000 split between 3 placements. First place is going to take $600, second place $300, and third place $100. So you can give a big shout out to eFuse for helping us out here and helping us bring this whole thing together. But I think it's time to get down into the nitty-gritty, Cruz. Why don't we take a look at these teams that we're going to have today and run through the captain's list?
I mean, as you guys can see and take a look at, these are our teams that were drafted. I am not going through each and every one of these teams right now. I'll throw you guys a couple of these teams that I think are going to do really, really well today. Got to take a look at Redchase's team. I think that's going to be one of the best teams here today. Crooked's team as well. All these teams going to be very, very good teams, but you guys can see them all over on the board to our left. Lurid 47's team, unfortunately crossed out. We would have loved to have had 47, Daniel Dobsky and Raiju here to play today, but unfortunately, he declined or got dropped out of the tournament. We don't quite know what happened, but as everybody gets knocked out today, we're going to be crossing a red line through their names. We absolutely love to see it here. But yeah, these are our teams, and we can take a look at our bracket now as well, because every single team was randomly filtered into this bracket as well. And as you can see and look through this bracket, you can already see, so Team Mental's team, because of the 47 dropout, Mental has already moved on with a bye into round 2. But nonetheless, this is still a fantastic looking bracket, and our first match, we're going to be starting off with match number 4. It's Redchase versus Team Teston.
It's gonna be fantastic. Don't forget, double elimination. You get to the end of the road from losers bracket and you hop up into the grand finals, and that losers bracket team will have to win double best of 5 to take that grand prize of the first place. But still a long ways until we reach that. And like you said, Team Redchase versus Team Teston. It's going to be a fantastic one, and we do have the maps as well. So as you can see above us, Garrison, Raid, Apocalypse, Express, Cruz. How are you feeling about this lineup?
I mean, we honestly, I don't have a problem with any of these maps. I mean, Garrison Hardpoint, by far the best mode on Garrison, in my opinion. So we love to see Garrison come through with the Hardpoint. Raid, Search, and Destroy, always love to see it. Probably the best control and Raid control as well, and then follow it up with an Apocalypse Hardpoint. That's always dicey. That can get crazy either way. Sometimes you get huge 180-point comebacks on Apocalypse Hardpoint. And, you know, honestly, with the way that this format is, I think we're in for some wild games of Call of Duty today. And then if we go the full distance, finishing it off with that Express, Search, and Destroy, that's always a map that can get super dicey as well. It's one of those maps where an individual player can make such a huge difference on the map. So I'm really excited to see this map set play out.
And I think that really filters into the first map as well, Garrison Hardpoint. You need your SMG players to be eaten here. And I know that Redchase is a very, very good Call of Duty player for College COD. I know that's an understatement, good. I mean, he's a previous champion of the College COD from Concord Maroon. So, I mean, you look at him coming into this, he's going to provide such a veteran feel for his team. I'm sure his teammates are feeling very comfortable and where they are. And I need to see these two teams, Team Teston or Team Chase, really take into factor that Garrison Hardpoint, you need your SMGs to be on point. You need to help them filter in through this because they're going to be a key role in getting this first hardpoint under your belt. And I mean, moving over into the Raid, it doesn't really stop at all because Raid, you're going to need that same quick presence as you do in Garrison.
Yeah, I think a big thing I'm wondering here too this weekend, kind of looking at it, is these players like Redchase, who have always had very, very strong, solid teams around him, How is he going to fare with a team that he's not so used to playing with? That's something that I'm really interested in and want to build a lot more storylines around going into this weekend. Because, yeah, Draco, Itchy, and Crazy Train, very, very good players. Not sure if Chugs will be inserted into the lineup at all as this weekend goes along. But, I mean, very good players in themselves, but definitely not to the same level of play that he's used to with his Concord Maroon team that we've seen go undefeated multiple times through CCL regular season, who we've seen make those long, big runs through to the championship. Does he have the individual talent to do it? Yes, he does. But whether we'll see him be able to do it with and be able to get a team to the point where they can win a championship here in this eFuse tournament, that's where it's really going to come into play.
There's only one way to find out. Why don't we hop into Garrison and take a look at exactly what we got. The teams are ready. The stage is set. And I can't wait to finally get a taste of College COD again. It's been way too long. I'm so excited. Another thing to shout out to on this Team Redchase roster is Chugs at the end. My roommate. I gassed him up during the draft day cruise. I need to see if he gets playtime today. I need to see him turn up. I was texting him over the weekend. I was letting him know. I'm like, you better show up here. I mean, you got Redchase on your team. You got Redchase on your team, man. I said, if you don't walk away with this prize pool, I don't know. I'm going to have to really give him an earful after that one. I might have to. Might have to just put the foot down and be like, look, there's just no spot for you.
Only winners in our house.
Only winner. Only winner. I mean, like, it's coming from me who dropped out of the College COD League. But
didn't you drop out of the College Overwatch League too? I don't know.
I actually, I made it through the whole season. I just,
okay.
I just retired after the season was over.
He became a coach, then a caster. We'd love to see it.
It's everything we see, but it does seem like we are having troubles getting into this lobby, as it wouldn't be a Call of Duty tournament without a few lobby issues. So we're going to cut to a little bit of intermission, and when we come back, we will get right into that Garrison hardpoint. So don't miss out on College Con, because we'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody, to the CCL Summer 8s tournament powered by eFuse. My name is Seymour, alongside me, Cruz. Would like to apologize for the start we had. It seems our observer, the game crashed. We didn't get to go through that hardpoint one. So Team Redchase and Team Teston, they did play it out, and they just moved on with the Garrison. And as you see above me, Team Teston came out on top, 250 to 137. It looked like Team Teston was pretty comfy on some Garrison hardpoint, Cruz, because what I understand is that they were ahead the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, you got to imagine it was probably a good rotation from 2 to 3 right off the start, get a nice 120-point lead, and you just carry on the momentum from the rest of the game. We see it happen often, but from the word that we got told from our admin that was in that game it was just a very comfortable win. But, I mean, as you guys can see here as well, there is another game currently going on, and it's Team Tactic versus Team Relic. And it was a 250 to 185 for the side of Team Tactic in map number 1 there as well. So, I mean, reeling it back in, though, we're going to get ready for map number 2 here between Team Redchase and Team Teston. And it's going to be a raid search and destroy coming up next.
Raid Destroy is a good time to bounce back as well, because as I was mentioning prior to the break that we did have, the unfortunate break that we had, I was saying that Raid is a map where you can really transition the similar playstyle of Garrison into it and be, I guess, sneaky with your SMG routes on Raid, especially for Search and Destroy. There's plenty of openings or plenty of routes to run where you can sneak on by, get some flanks going on, get in behind and take control of the of your enemy team's base, really. So in Raid, I don't want to see these teams slow down whatsoever. I don't want to see the pacing change from map 1 to map 2. I want to see them keep up on each other's heels and make sure that they can maintain everything. And Team Redchase, if you're looking at that, honestly, going into a raid for map number 3 for that control, they have to avoid going down 2-0.
I mean, actually, I think I kind of disagree with you. I mean, if Team Redchase got beat kind of that badly, I kind of want to see them slow it down here going into a raid search and destroy. I don't really want to see them trying to fully run at their opponents. Maybe try to slow it down, play the pacing a little bit differently, because that game, it's a Garrison. It was probably very, very fast paced, as most Garrison hardpoints are. So, I mean, if they can try to slow down this raid, maybe catch a timing or to just build a little bit of momentum for themselves here to really build this game on and continue this on. But nonetheless, here we go, starting off with the game, and it's going to be Team Redchase on offense first.
Big Doja Cat fan on screen, by the way. Team Teston running it through raid. You can see a hit to B, Itchy bomb carrier. Early plant as well, and the stun doesn't check him. So they have no clue yet. But as the bomb goes down, you will see those white arrows transition and look to collapse.
Yeah, 8 and 7 are going to be really big here. That's Dark and Scripps both trying to make this flank through the back. It's really just Draco who's trying to watch this flank from the top of bedroom as well. I believe that those were stuns that may have been thrown as well to break that glass. I feel like Dark knows he's up here. Dark will be able to find one. It does get very quickly traded out though, so I mean they're not in a terrible place to try to be able to hold on to this.
Itchy 1v2. He knows where both players are. 16 seconds to work with. And he's got that SMG in hand. Tiki is where the player is going to be at, and not expecting the push from Scripps. So it is going to be an early defuse from Team Teston. They're going to get that first round underneath their belt as well. And a great collapses on their part too. Team Redchase unaware of the flank, and it cost them.
Yeah, I mean, you absolutely love this play here as well from Scripps and Drake and Dark right at the end. Dark just hops the bomb, has full trust in Scripps to be able to find that kill. And I mean, that's a big trust kill for a team that you have never played with before today. Like maybe got a little bit of practice in yesterday, but I doubt it was enough practice to be able to have trust like that in your teammates. But man, if these guys are already trusting like that game 2 of the first day, I mean, maybe this Team Teston is a team that could be a team to watch out for here today. But nonetheless, back on offense here for the side of Team Teston. It looks like it's a push more towards this A site, but a lot of mid-map control to the side of Team Redchase. If this bomb needs to rotate out, they're very close to either site to make a rotation for themselves here as well.
Teston is going to be the bomb carrier. Still inside of our Dark. Oh, he might have an opening here. Draco's going to be off the map. And CT soon to fall. Oh, my Dark. Okay, I see how you woke up today.
Yeah, Dark is definitely ready. The flank's coming in a little bit late here from the side of Team Redchase as well. They're going to have a 2v4 this flank. It's going to be much easier said than done, especially once Scripps goes down. They find the final kill through the van as well. Team Teston very quickly up 2-0 here.
Very quickly as ever, and it's off of Dark right here. I mean, this was nasty onto CT. Like the shell here, he had half health, and he still goes for the shots onto CT. That is an ego shell if I've ever seen one. But the bomb plant,
disrespectful.
Yeah, the bomb plant soon following that, and I mean a 2-0 as quick as you could call it. Into this third round, I mean, Team Redchase, they need to find some footing because they haven't looked comfortable on raid at all.
Yeah, I mean, they're just kind of just having a slow start right here. CT's going to take some shots over the middle of the map. Wasn't able to find that first kill, but his teammate Draco will be able to find one, and CT does finally find that second kill. They do get traded out through the middle of the map, but it's still going to leave them in a 3 versus 2 advantage here. But that bomb is down in the middle of the map, and Dark's got a fantastic watch over the top of it.
I don't know if he knows. Teston, he's going to have a perfect timing on Redchase, but the expectations are there. Forces Dark to take the aggression into his own hands, so... Now moving on into Art 1v2. Bomb is down, 52 seconds to work with, and I love this wrap. This is a perfect call. It's going to get some timing onto Redchase, but with those shots going out, they know exactly where he is. Not to mention that he is 5-0, so with these 2 kills, if he clutches up, he will have streaks. Bomb's been recovered, and Dark is the information. Oh, this could be deadly. Redchase, he has to watch over the shoulder, and exactly what he does. So Bomb's going to get planted. Now you got time against you if you're Team Teston, and Dark, he has to work this to perfection. Redchase on the left. On the head glitch, he's not going to lose that whatsoever. So there you go. Mark a tick onto the side of Redchase as they bring it back to a 1-round deficit.
I feel like if I'm Dark there, I feel like the 5-0 might be a little bit more important than that round win and trying to 1v2 there, to be completely honest. Yes, if you win that round, you get a nice little start. You're up 3-0. You're probably fully streaked out, but I feel like maybe just sitting back, playing that 5-0, and just waiting till the next round, because you are already up 2-0. You kind of have a round to throw away. I mean, I know you never want to throw one away, but it's just one of those situations where if he finds 2 kills in a row this round, it's probably streaks, and it would have been nice to have.
Look at this, Teston picking up the pace again for hit towards A. It's going to cost them, though, as Itchy does find that opening behind with Draco. They even up the odds. They even put numbers in their favor. Dark taking shots from behind, leaves Scripps all alone inside the ring, scratching his head at what is happening around him. Minute to work with and no information whatsoever. So Team Redchase, a quick answer back from 2 rounds, and we go even Steven.
All right, I take it back, Colin. I think you were right. Maybe Team Redchase need to pick the aggression up, because these last 2 rounds, they've brought the fight to the side of Team Teston, and they've been able to pick these last 2 rounds up. So Clearly, that needs to be the situation here on Search and Destroy for them. Is they can't sit back, they can't play a pace game. They need to be taking advantage of middle of the map, taking advantage of these gunfights, trying to catch this Team Teston team off guard because that's what's worked for them so far here in these last 2 rounds. Nonetheless, back on offense here, the last round we saw them go towards the middle of the map, just be able to find a ton of kills and really open up that side. But this is looking much like their round 1 offense here, where we're going to see 3 players head over towards this B site.
On this time, you got Teston and Dark here to reinforce the site. They're already taking down CT, so there's going to be numbers to Teston early. You have to remember that it was the flank that costed Team Redchase in that round number 1. You lose your player watching that flank, and that's going to provide so much control to Team Teston. They're just not missing their shots. Scripps is hitting the flank from behind. Itchy's going to be watching it, throwing some shoulders back and forth. Scripps almost wins that one, but Itchy is going to put him in the grave. Wow. 2 on 3. Heading over to the A site. This is where Doja Cat fan is waiting to put them down. Catches Redchase off with some good timing. That leaves Itchy all alone in 1v3. Bomb in hand, but not a lot to work with here. He's getting hunted down like a dog, and Diamante's going to put him down.
Yeah, Team Teston able to go up 3-2 there. And I mean, that's just a perfect hard counter in all honesty. We can see it right here, right off the rip of the round, with Teston just sitting back towards this L-shaped wall. And just easy shots on a crazy train as he tries to peek around that corner, finds the kill, drops CT down. And I mean, CT off to a rough start here at 1-5. He's definitely going to need to pick it up here for the side of Team Redchase if they want to be able to come back into this game here. Because, I mean, yes, you're 1-5, your team's only down 1 round. But if you can pick it up, start finding a few more kills for your team, finding those first bloods instead of being first blooded, that's when you're going to start to see this team coming out. Oh, but the nade comes right back from Itchy to get the afterlife kills and find those 2. That's so unfortunate.
You talk about instant karma right there. I mean, that was great aggression from Team Teston, but just 1 nade, and it stops it all. Draco, good information from the middle of the map. Gets some shots from Dark, and they're going to clean them up with 2 individual gunfights. That was so lucky that Itchy hit that nade, because if that nade never happened, that would have been... If that nade never happened, that would have been a round for Team Teston.
That nade literally won them the round. Call of Duty, get your thing together. Come on, man. That was by far the play of the round. But yes, I completely agree with you. If that nade does not happen, they absolutely do not win that round there. And I mean, I think one thing we got to talk about here as well is Dark started off 5-0 through the first 3 rounds. Now 0-3 through these last 3, sitting at 5-3. So I mean, he's definitely going to need to pick it back up for the side of Team Teston if they want to be able to continue on with their winning ways here in this series. But we can see Redchase. They're going to take this bomb over towards this A site, but so much mid-map control to the side of Team Teston right now.
Got Draco watching the flank. Scripps, he wants to take Itchy down. He's itching for it. He's going to slide on in, and oh, Itchy! A little bit of a wake-up call. As I mean, sometimes Call of Duty can be a horror game, but 4v2, numbers now to Team Redchase. Dark doesn't check his corners. He's going to get a right hook for that one. So Doja Cat fan left alone. It's just going to be a flawless round for Team Redchase. Perfection in round number 7. 4-3 as we see a lead switch finally in Team Redchase. I think for the first time in the series are going to be ahead.
Yeah, honestly, because I think from what we were told too was Team Teston that map 1, they were ahead basically the entire game, right? So this very well could be the first lead, like you said, for the side of Team Redchase here in this series. We'll see what they decide to do here on their defense. Their defenses have been fairly solid for themselves so far. I'd say a little bit better than what we've seen from them on offense. This has been a much more defensive heavy search and destroy for sure so far, but it will be Dark carrying the bomb here for the side of Team Teston. Once again, the bomb heading towards this B site. And you know what? I understand why this site is being a little bit more favored today than the A site as well. I feel like this is going to be one of those sites where you can make more of an individual play of putting the bomb down and just sitting up in top bedroom trying to watch over it. Dark is getting very aggressive through middle of the map here. He is able to find one and get away here. And he finds the second onto CT. That completely opens this bomb to be able to go down and has his teammates there to watch it from the side of bedroom.
He must have tweeted an anime gif today because you don't shoot that normal. Usually. Wow. Team Teston. What a round. All off the back of Dark once more. Another 2-piece of pure heroism. Wow, I mean, this shot on the CT again. I mean, it's always CT on the other side of that gun for the second shot, and he got away with 5 health this time. Gets the bomb down, and his teammates they wrote the book on the rest of it.
At least he was full health this time when he took that second gunfight. He didn't take a single shot of damage from that from his first opponent there that he dropped. But nonetheless, you're not wrong at all. Dark has absolutely been that player for the side of Team Teston. Is this Team Teston or is this Team Darkify right now? As he is 7-4 and just absolutely playing out of his mind, winning these rounds individually for the side of Team Teston here. And I mean, more nades here over the top. He's not going to be able to find one as Itchy tries to, but Doja Cat and Dark, they will find two through the middle of the map. And this is going to leave Team Redchase in a really, really tough spot here. Yes, they do have the trophy in the middle of Zigzag to be able to at least watch over them, not be hit with all these nades. But I mean, to be able to get out of this spot here, it's going to be really, really tough because they have no idea where the rest of these Team Teston players are.
I mean, even Tom Brady misses sometimes. So, Itchy, don't feel bad on yourself. Bomb is going to go down 1v4 for Draco. Is able to find one. But now look at your minimap. You can see Dark's pushed up through Zigzag. Both players for Teston on the opposite side are going to be sticking together shoulder to shoulder. So, if Dark's not going to catch him off with some cheeky spots, it is going to be the trade from the other two. But they separate, and there are 3 different individual gunfights that Draco can find. The only thing against him now is going to be the clock. 23 seconds. Dark's in the corner, doesn't check it, and there you go. Team Teston, a 5th round under their belts, and they put themselves on map point.
At the very end of that round, there's a very classic situation of peripheral vision and tunnel vision in your way. He was looking for maybe a gunfight through the middle of the map. He wasn't really expecting a player to be laying down on the floor there to his right. And so, I mean, he does check that corner, but it's just like not enough of a check to be able to see it. And here we go once again with Dark on 4 in a row. I mean, you got to think if he gets put into a rough situation here in this round, I feel like he's got to play streaks and not play for a 1 versus 3 or a 1 versus 4 if it does get to that. But he would love to find streaks in this round if they don't win it. That is for sure.
Draco's got to find a kill here. Instead, he's going to fall off after some shots get traded out. Take a look at the setup that Team Redchase has. Oh, it's open wide now as Teston takes him down through mid. Need a trade, you need a fast, and there you have it. Itchy takes Teston back in retaliation. That's bomb dropped, and you can see Team Teston now. They want to push the aggression into Laundry. The only thing is the map has been flipped, and an opening has been provided. Doja Cat takes down Itchy, who hit that flank, and 3v2. Doja Cat recovers the bomb, looking for the plants. I'd like Draco to wait for his teammate here, because they are so separated. CT is nowhere close, and Draco makes himself known, and Team Teston, they're going to react to that by just taking control of Laundry and watching the opposite side.
Yeah, Dark is going to be sitting towards the back, just making sure that CT can't make a flank play through. Very unfortunate that Draco wasn't able to connect on some of those shots to the wall. They did look okay. Just not enough hit reg going through there. He does see Doja Cat on the bottom right, though. He will tie us up in a 2 versus 2 now, but they only have 22 seconds here. They need to get aggressive.
All right, Scripps hopping right back into Laundry. CT, you gotta get in the line of sight.
I think he's trying
if you
to
want
stretch
to this bomb. There's no way you can do it. You're gonna have somebody watching you out. So CT gets dropped. 11 seconds left. It looks like Team Teston are cashing their ticket to a 2-0 right now into the series. No time for the defuse, even if you find the kills, Draco. But you can go out at a bang, and not even gonna come out with that one. So it is gonna be 6-4 with Team Teston taking Raid, Search, and Destroy, moving up into the series 2-0. And completely surprising my prediction for this first series. I definitely thought this would be a lot closer than it was. I mean, the hard point was a blowout, as you can see above me for Garrison. Raid was closer, 6-4, but even still, like, the whole start of that Search and Destroy, just Redchase's team, they didn't look comfortable playing together. They looked very separated, very disjointed, and they're just not clicking.
They did bring it back, though, right? And I think that's what gives me hope going in towards this raid control. But yeah, Team Teston, they just kind of look like they're firing on all cylinders right now, and it's really Dark really leading the way here for this team right now. I mean, how many times did we say in that game there where he found a 1 or a 2 piece just to absolutely turn the tide of a round? I think it was 3 individual rounds out of 6 that they won that he found a 2 piece to completely open the map for themselves there. So I mean, they need to find a way to comprehend Dark and really shut him down so they can find a way to close out these games and win them out. Because I mean, if you're going to allow him to constantly continue to do that to you, it's going to be a really, really tough day for yourselves. And I mean, heading towards a raid control as well, this is going to be a map where it's going to be a very team heavy map. You need to make sure you have all your rotations on lock, because this is one of those maps where zone tag really does become a thing where if you drop all your players going towards that B site, you're going to flip over, you're going to head towards the A site. So you need to make sure that you always have a player constantly watching towards one of those sites, and you can't let Dark, if he's one of those players by himself over towards those sites, to be that player to really shut you down by himself.
You need to be that guy. Let's take a look at the bracket and see what every other team is dealing with so far. So as you can see, Team Catalyst and Team Buzz, they have started, and Team Catalyst leading 1-0. Team Tactic goes up 2-0 against Team Relic. After a
Gherkin's down
6-2
2-0.
search and destroy. Yeah, Gherkin's down 2-0 to Team Beaston. And Venet leading the way over to Josh's team 1-0 as well. Haven't seen what Fastball and Dr. Perseus have just yet, or Fishty versus Plasma. But this is an interesting start to the day. I wasn't expecting it to be this different from my predictions.
The two teams I called out to watch for today were Redchase and Crooked, and both teams are down 2-0 off the rip here. Come on, guys, give me a little bit here. Don't make me look this bad on day one in round one. Oh no, this is not where we want to be as a caster right now. But nonetheless, Redchase and Teston, as we can kind of reel back in just a little bit here, but I'm just kind of looking at this, and both of these two teams right now, looking at this bracket, the winner of this is going to be going up against Team Mental, who hasn't even played a game yet today. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you got to think if Redchase are able to claw this game back, get a little bit of momentum, even get the reverse sweep here, and take out Team Teston. I mean, you got to think that would give them a lot of momentum going up against Team Mental, and then vice versa to Team Teston. If they are able to get a 3-0 here, close this out very quickly, that would give them a good amount of momentum. So Mental, I mean, you guys better be warming up right now, scrimming against another team just to get warm, get those comms flowing, because you're gonna have to play a hot team in either Redchase or Teston at this point of the tournament.
And I mean, you look at the rest of the maps that we do have for Team Redchase versus Team Teston, and I have never seen so much reverse sweep potential in a map set than Raid Control, Apocalypse Hardpoint, and Express Search and Destroy. I mean, if you can get through this Raid Control, definitely Apocalypse could fit your skill set of a very chaotic style of play for Team Redchase, and then Express to close off. That's another one where you can see very individual players step up to the plate and take a Search and Destroy into their own hands. The only thing is you have to make it that far and take this control firsthand. And if I don't like singling out players, Cruz, but if I have to put it on somebody, it's going to be CT, because if you're letting Dark get those 1-2 trades or get those 1-2 setups to break into a site like you are going to be leaving so many paths open on a Raid Control that it's not going to help you on your defense, on your offense, whatever you need to have there. So CT, really, in my mind, he was kind of lacking in some situations. There were some gunfights that he was taking that I definitely should have seen him come out on top, specifically the first one that we saw with Dark and the last one we saw with Dark. You need to get a trade there if you're CT, and you really need to step up to the plate for your team. You're down 2-0, and this is your time to shine. I can't see how it's hard just mixing with some players for an AIDS tournament. So, yeah, I don't blame teams for being a little bit disjointed after one day of scrims. But, I mean, it's a big prize at the end of the day, and you got to start stepping up at some point.
I mean, I'm completely with you, and I think I completely take back my statement going into map number 2. I'm 100% with you. I think Redchase need to bring the aggression to them here going into this Raid Hardpoint. You need to just come out, and you need to come out flying at Team Teston and just catch them off guard, because we saw them try to throw strategy in that Search and Destroy, and it just wasn't working for them. Those rounds
looked lost.
The rounds were just not working for them. They weren't able to find those opening kills, and when they were kind of falling to the pieces after they did. Yes, it was a 6-4 loss, but it still felt like Team Teston was kind of in control of that entire game. They set the pace, and I think if you're Team Redchase here, you need to just come out and just absolutely run at them. A little bit of a score update as well. 6-3 for the side of Venet over Josh's team as well, just from what we just see from one of our wonderful admins in Alberts.
Shout out Alberts.
Quick update, but I mean, you got to think though, Red to come back in this game, it's going to have to be a sprint towards the end.
You need all 4 players to step up. That's all you need. To make a reverse sweep, you have to be clicking, and I think that if you can get that connection into it, these 3 maps, they set you up for victory in a reverse sweep setting. Like, there's no doubt in my mind that Raid, Apocalypse, and Express are reverse sweep capabilities for the ending 3 of the map. But definitely, we can keep harping on these players. But I do have to say, I mean, you were saying when we looked at the bracket, when you're going through everybody, that you were calling out some teams to watch out for, and they're not looking so good. And I feel like that's just the case when we do have these 8s tournaments going on, is that some teams, they'll click and some won't. And we really get to see some players who might thrive in a team setting fall behind when they have to take that individual play and lead the way in an 8s tournament, because you don't have that time to gather strategy, to gather trust, to get to know your teammates in this day. You had 1 day to practice. So I don't blame these players for falling behind whatsoever. It's hard.
And let's be honest too. I was watching the CCL Discord yesterday. You saw some teams in there practicing, but I also saw some teams not in there practicing as well. So you got to think this could also just be a classic case of some teams taking this tournament a lot more seriously than some other teams are in it. I mean, hey, all the power to you. If you want to be able to win the CCL Summer 8s tournament powered by eFuse, I mean, just come out. You get your practice in on Friday. Come out and smoke the show on Saturday and Sunday, man. It's what you got to do.
I think practice is a big key for this tournament, and I really like the work ethic from some of these players. I think it is going to translate into the coming season for CCL, and I like to see hard work get put in because the grind never stops here at CCL, and the players they need to show what they can bring if they want to make waves for the coming season. Just make your name known, and then I'm sure that will highlight you on our radar when the season comes into it. But map number 3 is going to be raid control, and we are getting into the lobby, getting ready to bring it live. But the players not in the lobby just yet, Cruz. So we are going to throw it to a little bit of a break, let these players get into the lobby, and when we come back, map number 3, it's either going to be the end of the series or the start of something new. Welcome back, everybody, to the CCL Summer 8s tournament powered by eFuse. We're here with the Team Redchase and Team Teston matchup. Team Teston up 2-0 already, but heading into the raid control, you're looking at the comeback. You're looking at Team Redchase to turn this one around because you don't want to fall to the losers bracket so early, Cruz. I know these teams are ready to get going, ready to hop into this map number 3, so why don't we waste no time at all and see what we have in store for us.
It's going to be a very quick break off here for the side of Team Teston. Everybody heading over towards the A side except for Teston, who's in charge of watching middle of the map. And everybody absolutely gets dropped by the side of Team Redchase. This is exactly the start they needed after that, after the hot 2-0 start from the side of Team Teston.
Looks like a little bit of a break is all they needed, just to recuperate and go again, as they would say. So a great stop to the start of this round on defense. You can see Redchase taking a little bit extra too into the spawn, already taking dark and looking for a little bit extra. Finally cleaned up by Doja Cat fan, and now looking to work out of the spawn is going to be Team Teston. In behind Itchy though, stops them again to go down. And that's troublesome for Team Teston because you don't want to get staggered out on a map like Raid.
Oh, and Dark gets shut down there. I thought he had a good chance to try to make a big play for himself. But with that kill to the middle of the map from Scripps, it completely opens up this A site for them to just hop onto the site. If you're Team Teston now, you just need to try to stack on this point. Because if you get this point now, and already 2 ticks are in, you're going to have a minute 43 and basically even lives here. Or, sorry, not even lives. It's still a 4-life lead, but it's still a decent amount of lives for yourselves to play with to try to get over and get into this next zone.
Ooh, Redchase breaks into A, so no cap yet. Onto that side, 38 seconds on the board. Live still in the advantage for Team Redchase. Teston taking quite a bit of damage. He's going to get cleaned up. If you take a look at the minimap, it's a full flood from Team Teston over to the B site. But another clear from CT as he keeps control of Kitchen. You're looking at the wrap and the collapse early from the likes of Redchase. Itchy from Pool Staircase has a little bit of backup, but not expecting Scripps to be in behind. Finds 3 of them. Oh my, Scripps might have just saved this round. Can he clean up Draco? He cannot. So it's going to be up to Doja Cat fan to find this last one, to put away this 3rd tick. But they have A locked down. B gets capped. Add a minute to this clock. Lives about even.
Yeah, that's not a play I love to see from the side of Team Redchase there. I feel like you don't need to hit towards that A site. I feel like they should have just let them capture it. Maybe set up a full defense over towards B, because they still would have had 3 ticks to work with over there. Now you only have 1 tick of progression to work with over towards A, and you've got Doja Cat fan pushing through the flank of your spawn. They have a chance to really set up a pinch here and shut down this Team Redchase fan team, and all they need to do is just push onto A and cap the 1 tick. And so I mean, Team Redchase, they're in a very rough spot here at this point in this round.
A lot easier said than done, but if your Team Teston, you got no respawn, so you got to start valuing your lives a lot more. 3 players left on this team. Doja Cat fan is on 5. They're trying to bring it back, but there goes the Shriek. Nothing going to come out of that. 6-2. Dark looking to make a dash to the A site, but everybody knows exactly where he is. Scripps on the flank. They know where both players are now. Dark gets cleaned up. Now it's just the hunt for Scripps with 34 seconds left. I mean, if he 1v5s that would be nuts, but I can't see that happening at all, especially with 30 seconds left. There's no way that they give this one up, so Redchase going to peek on up,
yeah,
and he's going to put that one through. 1-0 That's an excellent defense. I mean, yes, it was a lot scarier than it really needed to be. And I totally agree that there was no need to go back to the A site, but round win is a round win.
Exactly. I mean, there's a reason why I'm casting and they're playing the game, right? I also, thank God I've got you here with me because I fully did not see the fact that they only had 4 lives left there as well. So, I mean, that was definitely a big game-winning decision to not have that many lives left for themselves. They just kept the pressure on, kept trying to outslay this Teston team. And honestly, after that big break off for themselves and getting that 4-life lead, they basically held it throughout that entire round. And you got to think that's why they were able to close that round out. They just kept the life lead the entire time. So, I mean, Team Teston, they're going to need to answer back with an offensive round or a defensive round win of their own here. But, I mean, we all know how big offense really can be on this map. So, I mean, if Redchase can find a way to go up 2-0 here, put themselves in a great chance to start the comeback in towards a reverse sweep.
Teston finds 2. You get the flank from Dark, you clear out that first wave of attack, and I do like the pacing of Team Teston, not getting too aggressive too early. They are going to look for the second wave to break on through, but Redchase, like a spear, they're going to push their way through the middle of the map and break outside of Art. Are they going to expect Teston to be on this close angle? Because this is an off angle that you don't normally see and don't normally account for. Still, it's actually the flank from Dark that is going to put this one through, and Team Teston, they wipe 4 once more.
Yeah, that's another big wipe there, and Doja Cat fan is already pushed up in towards bedroom. He's going to get into this sneaky spot, and this is such an annoying spot to deal with that players play sometimes, and it actually gets checked. Kudos to Redchase for checking that hop up there, finding that kill. It completely opens them up for a chance to be able to head towards this B side. Itchy's watching the flank as well. This is a beautiful push out from the side of Team Redchase. When you have no map control at all with only 28 seconds left, they're able to push now, get onto this B side, and start trying to click some, take some progression towards this side.
Covering the angles, Itchy finds another. All up to Dark to make a move towards the B site. He's able to find CT, but he's losing out on teammates, so I love this call to back off the site. Because you need to find map control elsewhere. The B site is gone. Add a minute to the clock. A 2-life lead for Team Teston, but with the B site being capped, that opens up a world for Team Redchase. Even down lives, I mean, the A site is exactly what you want to have left.
I mean, yeah, and it's only a 2-life deficit, right? You can find that in one single 2-piece. So, yeah, realistically, the game very very similar to the last one where lives are super close, and it's just going to need to be one big break from the side of Team Redchase to really open up that site. If they get the players in the right position, they can just spawn these players of Team Teston out towards basketball and just completely influence this map. So, I mean, if you're Team Teston here, you have very little margin for error right now.
Oh, Redchase makes his way in behind. Luckily for Team Teston, the teammates on A held their ground and found a few kills because Redchase could have put that one in the blender left unchecked, but now look for mid-map control as the hit to A is coming out. The collapse from Redchase are going to stop the clock at 39 seconds. Itchy trying to cover the middle of the map. Shots aren't going to land. A big disengage from Team Teston to open up for that flank. They clear out Itchy. Now looking to flood back onto the site. They clear it off. 32 seconds left. Redchase, they're really backed into a corner here with only 9 lives left. You need to find something fast.
I think one thing I'm noticing right now from the side of Team Redchase is that these guys are taking a lot of little individual gunfights. Right now, they're playing a lot more together through the middle of the map, and I feel like this is what they're going to need to do if they want to be able to break on towards this A site. A lot more team pushes coming in here, being led by Crazy Train through the back. Unfortunately, he does get shut down by Team Teston, by Teston, team captain there, but they'll try to hop on the side. I just don't think it's going to be enough time here. I mean, I stand corrected. Draco will hop on with 1.8 to go.
Can he do it, though? Only 3 lives for Team Redchase. You just need one good collapse from Team Teston. And there's the kill. Time is gone. We go even.
Little extra shots after 2. Things you love to see in a College COD 8's tournament, you know, but...
It's things you need to see in this tournament. I mean, in CCL, it wouldn't be CCL with a little bit of extra love.
Hey, he's just trying to get in his head. Rent free, right?
You gotta give it to Dark, though. He has been such a staple to the Team Teston. I mean, he's on one today.
Yeah, he's absolutely been a standout performer for their team right now. And I mean, he hasn't had the greatest start to this game, but still to bring it back to 13-13 now. And after how good he looked in that search history, you got to imagine he looked very good at that first hard point as well. So, I mean, absolutely has been the player here for Team Teston so far. But I mean, shouts to the captain having a very good game here as well at 16-15, leading the way in slaying for his team in this map right now. But nonetheless, Team Redchase back on defense here. They will find that first blood, and they have a chance to really just pinch these players on Teston inside this site right now.
It's a lot better of a break from Team Teston than before. The collapse, though, from Team Redchase, looking to get in time for the second tick, but second tick goes through. A lot of progression towards A, and now you are going to be seeing the second wave of attack from Team Teston off of this spawn. If you take a look at the minimap, Redchase, they're spread out. So it is going to be Redchase really on an island as Scripps catches them on out, so looking for this control to A to clear it off, add another minute onto the clock earlier than the last time around. So 2 minutes is going to be there for Team Test, and a better round the last one, but can't get a good time onto Redchase, and another one bites the dust. Here comes the attack now over towards B, starting from kitchen. These two players here, they need to turn up big.
And one thing we saw in last round from the side of Team Teston was once they got control of this B site, they didn't lose it. They were able to just get a complete wipe and get all 3 ticks over towards B. So if they're able to find even close to the same amount of success here, they could have a very good chance of being able to close this offensive round out and take our first offense of the match here. But Draco through the middle of the map, him and Itchy are going to find 2. This is going to give them a good amount of mid-map control to the side of Team Redchase, and they can try to push out now and really try to pin these Team Teston players in their spawn.
And we talk about Dark. We'll talk about Itchy, 20 and 14 in this control. Really providing a lot for Team Redchase in the slaying category, keeping these lives even, because that was a little bit dicey. Teston found 3 into kitchen. There was the opening to B, and then Redchase and Itchy, they cut through the middle of the map. They get in behind, and they clear out those players. Really keeping this team in this, and Redchase is going to reap the reward of staying all sneaky, like 3 kills in a row. Make it 4 with Draco making his name known in the kill feed. A multi-kill, and now a lead.
I mean, hey, we talk about it all the time where SMGs can get in sneaky little annoying positions on this map, and he was just in one of them. He completely reaps the reward of it, like you said, finds 3 kills. And now, I mean, Draco, once again, he's going to push back and find a bunch of kills through the middle of the map as well. This is just every time they find a few of these 2 pieces through the middle of the map, it just shuts down and staggers this push from Team Teston so bad to the point where it makes it so hard for them to be able to hit it. It's really going to be up to Scripps and Dark right now to make this play to the back, and they've only got 11 seconds to do it and hop onto the zone.
9 seconds to stop the clock. Itchy stops him as the barrel on through. 3 in the kill feed towards the blue team. Redchase and CT make it a 4th. And that is going to be a 2-1 lead. I would love to hear the comms between games between Raid Search and Raid Control, because this looks like a totally different team for Team Redchase. It looks night and day into the control map compared to the Search and Destroy.
And it really feels like whatever this team does on defense is working for them, because last round they gave up that B site completely and wanted to hold on to 1 tick over at A, and it worked for them. This time they give up the A site after losing 2 ticks on it and completely hold B for 1:40. So I mean, kudos to the side of Team Redchase. They've looked very, very good on their defenses, no matter in which way they want to be able to hold on to it here. But it's really going to come down to, can they win this first offense here? Because I don't think either team wants that defense, and I mean, or wants the offense in this final round. So I mean, either they're going to need to win this round, or they're going to need to just get a lot of outslaying in this round. Because really, kills have been very even through the first 3.
You know, the breakoffs haven't been too bad for these attacking teams. It's just towards the middle of the sandwich is when you really start seeing the filler move towards that defending squad. And now a dash towards B, a couple kills towards Team Redchase. They are going to be looking for early progression. As you see, those white arrows are going to be grouping up towards the left side of the minimap for an early collapse onto it. 1 tick done and dusted. Here comes the flood from Team Teston.
1 tick at both.
Draco gets caught. Itchy into the corner. They clear him out. There goes the B site. But now you need to worry about A, the spawns from Redchase. They are going to be back garage, so luckily not providing towards the A site. 2 ticks gone at A. Now working on the 3rd one is Team Redchase, and it looks like they're on pace to put another minute onto the clock. Lives are even, and we're really standing at the same spot that Team Teston was last round.
I mean, that's a huge start to the round from Team Redchase. So the fact that they're able to not only find 2 ticks onto B, or sorry, they don't have the second tick, they have a tick and a half in, but they split pushed that. They had 2 on one side, 2 on the other, and completely got A with only 2 players. That's a lot of resources that they didn't need to spend. You've still got Redchase pushing through the back of jungle. They have a fantastic chance to break on here. It's really going to be up to player 4 in the back if he can do something big, and he only finds 1.
Yeah, Doshkat takes one down, but it's going to be up to the respawns now. 2 ticks gone, working on a third. Here comes Scripps. He has to make a heroic play, expecting Draco to be in the corner, but the teammates are there. The shots are in, and Redchase 3-1 in the control. They stay alive in the series, and they push us to Apocalypse.
They want this reverse sweep. They're not going down without a fight, and that's absolutely things you love to see here from the side of Team Redchase. Just honestly, just a great control played from them. It's just one of those situations where they just felt like they were in control of that game the entire way. Even in their first offense, it wasn't the best offense, but it still looked decent. And I feel like their defenses was really where they ended up winning that game for themselves there. Yes, I was very critical of them in that first round because I thought they made a big mistake by completely giving up 1 tick and just holding on to 1 tick at A and just allowing them basically to get the B zone. But I mean, they were able to hold on to that round, and once they did, it really felt like it gave them a lot of momentum to be able to hold on to that rest of the rest of the game. And now it's just really going to come down to, hey, can we just continue bringing this momentum and let's roll it into an Apocalypse hardpoint where if they're lucky, they'll start off on that good side. And I mean, you never know what happens once you start off on good side on Apocalypse.
You never know what happens whatsoever. Team Redchase, they open up a door of opportunities now into this series. Let's take a look at the bracket to see how everybody else is doing into the tournament. Because it does look like a few of the series have finished off. You can see Team Venet, they move on. Team Tactic, they move on as well. 3-0s in their likes. A few going 2-1 as well. As you see, Team Redchase, Team Teston in that match number 4. They are going to be moving into Apocalypse. Beaston and Crooked are moving into game number 4 as well for their likes. And I mean, everybody's on the board so far. Fastball down 1-0 in their series. Fishity up 2-0 in their series. And then up at the top, it's Catalyst leading over Buzz 2-0 as well. So plenty to go through. Plenty to go through as well in this tournament.
I mean, just looking at that Crooked match, absolutely something you love to see. They started off down 2-0, so they're also looking to try to get a reverse sweep in that series for themselves there. And you would imagine so is Team Plasma on the likes of Team Fishity, who is currently up 2-0 for them as well. They're probably playing their control right now. I mean, just looking at this bracket, nice to see that starting to really make waves for itself here. I mean, you got to think that the Catalyst should be able to close that game out over Team Buzz. I mean, I never really want to count a team out, but I mean, that Catalyst team is definitely a team that I expect to play very, very well throughout this tournament. And I mean, Fastball is starting off 0-1, definitely not how he wants to start off his college career here.
Well, word on the streets is that Fishity versus Plasma game number 2 went all the way to round 11, so it could intentionally be a 1-1 game if it went the opposite way, but things are close along the board. We're going to cut to a little bit of a break while we get ready for the Apocalypse hardpoint coming up next between Team Redchase and Team Teston to see if Redchase can push us to a map number 5 on Express. We're going to see after this break. And welcome back, everybody, to the CCL Summer 8s tournament powered by eFuse. We're here, Team Redchase, Team Teston, game number 4, Apocalypse, looking for Express if you're Team Redchase. However, Team Teston, if I was them, I'd like to close it out in 4. You don't want to give Team Redchase an inch because they will take a mile cruise. Talk to me a little bit, Apocalypse. You're talking about the good spawns and the bad spawns. What do you want to see at the start?
I mean, hey, if I was Team Teston, I would have wanted to close it out in 3, to be honest, because like you said, I don't want to give this Team Redchase any chance to build some momentum and come back into this game, but I mean, they've done it already, so I mean, it's already 2-1. Apocalypse is a perfect map to try to be able to come back on, because like you were kind of saying, if you do start off on the good side of Apocalypse, this is it's a very good chance for you to be able to pull this game back. But I'm not really sure who started off on good spawns here, just looking at the way that this game broke off, but nonetheless, Team Redchase will be in control of those spawns now. I mean, a very tight game right off the rip, obviously here, only a 3-3 score, but really, you're not even looking at this Hill 1 on this game. It's all about Hill 2 and controlling these right-hand mini-map spawns.
Draco wins a big 2-piece over inside Temple to lock down those spawns. Bit of time to Team Teston off this hill number 1, but like you said, you're in a good spot if you're Team Redchase to hop on for the rest of this time, potentially get a few numbers under your belt and run away with the series off this rotation. Draco's on a 5 spree as well, so you have to be careful if you're Team Teston. You don't want to give away streaks early on a map like Apocalypse, and he's in a really good spot now to find that, and he respectfully backs up. He's looking to play for these because you know how important that one is. Shots to the wall, not gonna finish off the kill, But he's gonna hop off to take out second. Scripps and Draco right below. It's gonna be Redchase that clear them out. This is clinical so far.
Yeah, one of our first round picks in an SMG heaven right now is Draco on this 5 spree, really trying to play for these streaks so he can catch out these players. But Toja Cat fan reads the play, able to shut him down, stops the streaks, but nonetheless, still in a fantastic spot to be able to hold on to this. As I say that, though, 2 players on the side of Team Redchase will get spawned out. A beautiful break from the side of Team Teston as they break through the back of Temple and completely flip the spawns on the side of Team Redchase.
Yeah, definitely. Who brought the scalpel? Because that was clean. And cut. Well, Dark, he's going to be sitting here anchoring the hill while his teammates look to push down the map to once again flip these spawns over towards Stilts. Oh, Teston. You're having... Teston, come on, man. Come on, man. You got to hit those ones. Scripps luckily takes out Redchase. You are getting the claps out from Team Teston. So far, so good. But in retaliation, Itchy finds 2 or 3 down. But the spawns flip nonetheless.
Anybody see that new Space Jam movie? Because Teston, he is not going to be doing a dunking anytime soon with those hops. But nonetheless, Redchase, they're at least able to get in towards the next zone. It looked a little bit rough there off the rip there. I thought they were going to be, the Team Teston was going to be able to flip the rotation from one hill into the other. But so far, so good for Team Redchase on the rotation over towards the new hill. It's really Redchase who's leading the way right now for them on this hill in particular. But Draco in the game at 11-4 still playing very, very hot.
Oh, Draco's phenomenal right now. So Redchase just keeping his toe into the hill. Teston comes on board, but in and out Redchase goes. He's going to be keeping it in hand, and it's going to be Team Teston looking to flip these spawns on again. 3 go down for Redchase, and this is a really good setup right now for Team Teston. For hill number 4. If they can hold on to the top of the minimap, they're going to be in a set position to tie us up once more. So the hill does pop open, and Team Redchase, they're across the map.
It's that break on hill, too. That makes this game so much more interesting right off the rip. So many times we see right off the rip of these games, a team go up 100, 120, 150 sometimes, right off the rip through the first set of hard points because teams are able to just string these hills so consistently together. But because they get that break off the rip, it's such a tight game. It's going to leave us to such an exciting finish here between these two teams because I honestly feel like we're already in our second set of rotations right now.
It really feels like it. The only thing is that we still have a few more hills to go before we reach that, and Redchase, they're prioritizing taking away the spawns for hill number 5. I guess the biggest money hill you can take out of it all is going to be the last one you can have at it. A break comes in for hill number 4. 2 players go down, and you can just see how much prioritization is going on to the left side of the minimap. Even Team Teston, they know they don't want to take another swing at hill number 4. You need to put your focus on this hill 5, and Redchase is going to wait for the reinforcements to come in, drop on down, look to get into the mix, but Draco cleans it up, getting finished out Dark. There you have it, but the only thing is that damage has been done for Team Teston. They're going to be spawning up close. Redchase has to deal with the rest of them, and it's not going to happen. The team kill from Scripps is going to take down Redchase, and this is a good position for Team Teston to really blow this one open.
Play that happened towards the top side of the map was so huge. It kind of gets filtered out now by Teston, but what ended up happening was as Team Redchase found all those kills through the middle of the map, Teston actually pushed up and blocked the top left spawn, and it forced everybody from the side of Team Teston to spawn on him. Nonetheless, the side of Redchase was able to break back in, and this has turned into a very, very scrappy hardpoint after that. But, I mean, just a beautiful play from him to recognize that, get those spawns flipped out. But now, with only 10 seconds left, Team Teston, they should be able to guarantee themselves the scrap time here. But we're at virtually a tie game going into the second set of rotations.
I don't think I've seen an Apocalypse this close for a long time. And yeah, it all filters out because of that hardpoint 2 break. So now you can see again, Team Teston, player number 4 is going to be putting a lot of focus on through that. Doja Cat fan is going to drop, so nothing's going to come out of that one. Oh, Teston finds that kill in Redchase now. He's going to hop on the hill, find a little bit of time for his team. But again, a lot of map control right now for Team Redchase, looking to clear on their spawns and get right back into this hill number 1. Marginally an even game between both of these teams, as you'd imagine from what we've seen from maps 1, 2, and 3. But if you're Team Teston, you're looking at this break, you're looking to hold down the time and get a lot of chunk out of this first hill to rotate on and get a little bit of cushion for that hill number 2.
And this is a spot where you could really see Team Redchase break open this game, but they've lost control of these
Spawn
spawn
flip.
stop, right? Yeah, Team Teston, they have once again broken Temple before the hill even pops. This is absolutely insane for them. But you can see Redchase, they do have some players still filtering through that top side, so they do have a chance still. They just need to find these kills. One player will spawn out for Team Teston as well. So not only do they have control of the spawns, but they can also set up a pinch through the middle of the map now with player number 1 spawning out.
Itchy needs reinforcements, and he needs them fast, but number 5, Draco, not gonna test and being through the middle of the map. This is a perfect spot if you're Team Teston to blow this map out of the water in this hill number 2. You can put yourself over that 200-point marker, and Scripps is on a 7 spree looking for that cruise missile. So if you can take down Itchy here, so much in the arsenal for this squad, and there you have it. Cruise missile locked down tight, 170 to 120. This is looking a little bit dirty if you're Team Redchase. You need to put focus on the opposite side of the map because, I mean, you're guaranteed a 200-point marker if you're Team Teston. But we know that Apocalypse, it can turn on a dime so easily in the bottom side or the left side of the hills.
It's going to be really, really tough with streaks, though. A lot of these next few hills are very, very open hills. I mean, yes, you're about to go to Stilts right now, which is a hill where you're underneath the bridge. You can still fly and drop rockets and around there. So streaks still can be very usable here for a break. And then you have Turtle next. And I would imagine that we see the 2 streaks get saved for that Turtle Hill next. But I mean, you don't really want to give Team Redchase a good amount of time here. So with them finding those kills and really being in control of this hill, I would imagine we might see a streak get invested here.
We do. Can he bend it like Beckham? Yes, he can. Itchy off the board. And here comes the break now. They overwhelm CT. They get into Stilts. They break through this hill as easy as could be. And they had caught a split spawn for Team Redchase, so a little bit lacking on either side of the points. If you're Team Redchase, you need some good timing onto these players, and that is just not happening at all. Scripps pops on out. Doja Cat still in the back line, able to filter out Draco as well. 14 seconds of scrap time, and another flip comes out. This is where Team Teston can really put away the series.
Team Teston's hardpoint right now is looking absolutely scary. Not only do they break P2 once, but they break P2 twice. And now they have an absolutely great chance to be able to run and turn this game over. Scripps will find that kill through the middle of the map. And I mean, whether they need to invest streaks or not, they've got them ready to go here. They've got only 15 points left needed to score to win this game out. And with 10 seconds to go, it's really looking like this could be a Team Teston win.
Here comes the artillery strike. Gonna be watching these players as they flow on through. CT eats it right on the knock-in. 4 go down. Nobody can touch the hill, and if you're even trying to, Scripps is watching you. Team Teston is gonna send Team Redchase to the losers bracket as they take the series 3-1 with a brilliant second set of rotations on Apocalypse Hardpoint. I mean, Cruz, that was 120 to 120 on Hill 1 for the second set of rotations. And I think Team Redchase only got about 17 seconds on the second set of rotations.
Well, this is what happens when you get P2 spawns and you find streaks on them, right? This is that example right there is what we were talking about in the first set of rotations, where if you can get a good amount of time on that P2 hill and string that and roll that into your next few hills, that's when you can really take over a game. They didn't do it on the first set because they were the team breaking, and they absolutely that break was insane. That was probably one of the best breaks I've ever seen on P2. And then they just rolled it. They just rolled it and kept running with it. A fantastic game. Yes, they weren't able to get their feet under themselves through that first set of rotations, but once that second set hit and they broke that P2, it was smooth sailing from there from the side of Team Teston.
I know this is the College COD League, and I'm sure that some players on Team Teston they must be in like the nursing program because that was clinical from their schooling. I mean, that was so good. Those breaks were just so well timed, communicated to a T, and they were just on point together. And this is where you see the practice from scrim day really transition to the tournament day. You can see that Team Teston, they're feeling good. And I mean, a little bit of a hiccup into that control, but they finish it out with a bang on that hard point. So if you go into the rest of the tournament, patch up that control, and this is a dangerous team for the rest of the CCL Summer 8 tournament, powered by eFuse. But Cruz, let's take a look at the rest of the bracket. Let's see where everybody else is sitting, because a lot of these teams are going to be moving on to the second round now.
So I'm looking at that first matchup, match number 13 in round 2 there. That looks like a insane match. Double 3-0 from the side of Catalyst and Tactic. So they're going to be playing each other. Neither yet to drop a match yet. They'll be playing in round 2. I believe our next match that will be on stream, though, will be that match number 16 between Team Beaston and Team Crooked. The winner of that versus Team Bennett. So I think that will be a very good one because that one's about to go to game 5 right now as well.
Head into game 5, and the winner of that one is going to be feeling it against Team Bennett. I mean, Bennett, they had a 3-0 sweep, so they had a clean run right into the second round, and you have to imagine that. You have to stay warm, shoot some bots, stay there, because as soon as Crooked and Beaston, whoever wins that gets off this, they're going to be hot and ready to go, like the Little Caesars guy bringing you your pizza on a nice night. So I'm really looking forward to the second round. We're going to throw to a little of a break while we get ready for the next set of matches. So stay tuned for some more CCL Summer 8s powered by eFuse, because we will be right back with the second round of games.